Welcome to NarrativeNook audio tales where enchanted stories come to life. If you enjoy our stories, please subscribe, like and share to support our channel. Enjoy listening.
As the sun set in the west, painting the sky orange and red, the day transitioned into the evening. After work, Jared picked Nicole up to go home together. Suddenly, they received a call from Tia and she sounded really anxious on the phone. "Nicole, we're in trouble. Oh my God, what should I do?" Tia's voice was filled with panic. "Hey, calm down. Take it easy and tell me what's going on," Nicole said, comforting her. Tia cried. "Stanley is injured." Nicole was shocked. "What happened? Where are you guys?" "We're in the ambulance now, on the way to the hospital," Tia explained. "Okay, we'll be right there," Nicole said, forcing herself to stay calm. Hanging up the phone call, she instructed Max. "Max, take us to the hospital. Stanley's injured." "All right," Max said. He turned the car around and headed to the hospital. When they arrived, Stanley was already in the emergency room. Tia and the kids were waiting outside. "What happened?" Nicole asked Tia seriously. "Mommy, is Uncle Stanley going to die?" Nolan and Lana seemed in shock. They had burst into tears when they saw their parents. Jared pulled the kids closer, and he spoke to them soothingly. "He won't. Don't worry. He'll be fine. Daddy." Lana bawled. Jared sat the kids down on the bench and comforted them. Meanwhile, Tia was shaken. Her voice was trembling as she explained to Nicole, "Someone tried to kidnap Nolan and Lana." "What?" Nicole's expression instantly paled. "We were ready to head home after I picked the kids up. But we encountered a group of people on the way back to the car. They stopped us and forcibly tried to take Nolan and Lana away. I was nowhere close to overpowering them. Oh my gosh, I was terrified. Fortunately, Stanley came in time. Otherwise, I can't imagine what would have happened." Tia explained the entire incident to Nicole in detail. Stanley got injured in the fight with the group of people. Even the driver was injured and was currently being treated in the emergency room. Tia could not help but tremble while recalling the incident. Thankfully, other people came and helped out. Otherwise, not only Stanley and the driver would have gotten hurt, but Nolan and Lana might have been taken away as well. "Don't worry. It's all right now. Let's wait and see how Stanley is doing. He's in the emergency room now, not the ICU, which means Stanley isn't in a life-threatening condition. I'll take it from here," Nicole said. A glint of coldness flashed across her eyes. She was furious that a group of people targeted her children. Nicole's expression tensed when she turned to find Jared on a phone call. As she approached Jared, he ended the call. Looking at Nicole, Jared said seriously, "You found out." "Tia told me about what happened," Nicole answered. Although she was not sure of the details, she understood clearly that someone wanted to kidnap her kids. No wonder the kids were terrified. Not only did someone want to kidnap them, but Stanley and the driver even got hurt to save them. "I have Max on the case." Jared's voice was icy. "The people who helped out must be the ones you arranged for in advance, right?" Nicole asked, thinking about what Tia said. She guessed that Jared had people discreetly watch over the kids. "Yes, they sent us a message just now," Jared continued. Their car was stopped by a red light. When they arrived, Stanley and the driver were already injured, but luckily they weren't too late. If the people Jared hired had arrived later, the children might have been in real trouble. "Thank goodness they were there," Nicole said, biting her lip. "Things would have become complicated if no one had helped out today." "They'll follow them closely in the future," Jared informed. He already gave orders to have his people be Nolan and Lana's driver to always be on standby. "All right, that's good," Nicole said, a determined look crossing her eyes, knowing Jared had made arrangements. As for now, they had to find out the mastermind behind this and uncover their motives. Jared held Nicole's hand and reassured her, "You should check on the kids." After experiencing the incident, Nolan and Lana were truly terrified. Besides that, they were worried about Stanley, so they needed some comfort from their mother. Nicole bit her lip and forced herself to maintain her composure. She walked over to the kids and held them in her arms. "Mommy, I'm scared," the kids said, sounding distressed. "Don't be. Your dad will send his men to protect you," Nicole reassured the two little ones, patting their backs. Looking up at Nicole, Lana asked, "Does that mean Uncle Stanley will be fine too?" "Don't worry. Stanley is just injured. He'll be fine." Nicole faked a smile, trying to ease the kids' anxiousness. Nolan and Lana breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. The sight of Stanley and the driver injured and bleeding had the kids really frightened and deeply concerned. Hugging the kids, Nicole tried her best to stay calm. She did not want the kids to feel any negative emotions from her. After a very long time, the emergency room's door finally opened. Just as the doctor came out, Tia rushed over and asked, "How is he, doctor?" "Although the patient is injured, it's not life-threatening. He'll have to be hospitalized for recuperation and treatment due to external injuries," the doctor explained. Tia felt a huge load lift off her chest. As tears welled up in her eyes, she murmured, "That's good to hear. Doctor, please arrange for his hospitalization." Nicole and Jared approached, with Nolan and Lana. "Sure." The doctor left to prepare the paperwork, and Stanley was wheeled out of the emergency room. Bandages stained with blood covered Stanley's head and body. Stanley looked like a mess, but he comforted everyone, saying, "Come on, I'm fine. Just some injuries on the outside." "Some injuries, you say? Look at you now." "The doctor said you have to be hospitalized," Tia grumbled. Tia was unsatisfied with Stanley's negligent behavior and his injuries. Meanwhile, Stanley was just shocked that Tia was worried for him. "Nicole, I'll go through his hospital admission. I'll leave Stanley to you," Tia notified, starting to leave. However, Nicole pulled her back and objected. "I'll go. You can take care of him." Seeing Tia's evident concern for Stanley, Nicole felt that Tia would be better suited to take care of Stanley at the moment. Therefore, Nicole left to handle Stanley's hospital admission while Tia stayed back with Stanley. Soon, Stanley was transferred to a ward. The nurse left the ward after informing them about the precautions. "Uncle Stanley, does it hurt?" Nolan and Lana asked softly, sitting next to his bedside. They were so concerned for him that they did not dare touch him, afraid of hurting him. "I'm fine. It doesn't hurt at all," Stanley said, more concerned about the kid's well-being than his pain. Stanley's feeble appearance made Nolan and Lana feel sad. They pouted. "It's all because of us that you're like that." "Hey, don't worry. As long as you guys are safe, I'm content. My injuries will heal soon," Stanley comforted. Nicole returned from paying the bills and saw Stanley's frail condition. So she gently took the kids away and suggested, "Uncle Stanley needs some rest. We'll go home first." "Who's going to take care of Uncle Stanley then?" Lana asked worriedly. "Tia will stay here." Nicole gently ruffled her daughter's hair. "Oh." Lana looked at Tia, feeling it was best if she stayed back to take care of Stanley. Tia nodded her head in response. "Don't worry, Nicole. I'll take good care of him. Stanley took care of Tia when she fell sick last time. Tia would not turn a blind eye now that he was sick." "All right then. We'll get going to update the family, just in case everyone gets worried. We'll be here tomorrow morning," Nicole explained. After making the arrangements, Nicole and the others left, leaving Tia alone with Stanley. "Well, Stanley, the doctor said you need to rest properly. Ease your mind and just relax. I'll be right here, so holler when you need me," Tia said. She then pulled a chair closer to the bedside and sat there to accompany Stanley. Stanley chuckled at the sight of Tia all geared up. He suggested, "Why don't you buy something to eat?" Tia came to the hospital right after picking the kids up. It had been quite chaotic, and Stanley assumed Tia might be starving. Tia did not read into the question and thought he was hungry. So she agreed. "My bad, I'm sure you're hungry. I'll go get some food now." After bringing dinner back, Stanley told Tia, "I'm not hungry. You should eat up." "Huh. The food is for me," Tia asked in confusion. "I can't finish this." Tia did not feel hungry at all after the incident. "You still need to eat. Join me for dinner," Stanley advised. Tia thought Stanley wanted to eat, so she set a small table with their dinner and sat across from him. Stanley felt satisfied after seeing Tia willing to eat. The two people started eating dinner in silence. Although no one talked, the atmosphere was not awkward, as they both had some things on their minds. Stanley was so happy deep down that Tia had started calling him Stanley like a friend. He no longer had to appear before her with the young master label, and he felt their relationship slowly developing. Tia, too, was eating absent-mindedly. She was thinking about the moments when Stanley protected her and the kids. At that moment, Tia tried her best to shield the kids in her arms. However, the thugs grew agitated, and one of them swung a wooden bat at them. It was Stanley who protected her and took the hit. Tia figured it was painful. Subconsciously, Tia looked at Stanley to find his eyes on her. Her face instantly blushed, and she quickly shifted her gaze. Stanley smirked and continued eating. Tia breathed a sigh of relief in secret after sensing Stanley had shifted his focus away from her. Meanwhile, Nicole and Jared were back at their home with the kids. "How's Stanley?" Gloria asked anxiously after seeing that the family was back. "Don't worry, Mom. He's fine now, but he has to be hospitalized due to his injuries. So he'll be in the hospital for these 2 days," Nicole explained. "What happened?" Daniel asked in concern. Nicole bit her lip. She avoided some important details and talked about the minor parts. "Dad, we're still on the case. I believe we'll soon find out. You have to investigate it through and through," Daniel said solemnly. Instinctively, he knew things were not simple this time. "We will," Nicole promised. "Let the kids stay at home for a few days," Gloria suggested, still having a lingering fear for the kids' safety. Although Gloria and Daniel were uncertain of the incident, they knew it happened on the way back after picking Nolan and Lana back from school. "Don't worry. I got my people to be their drivers," Jared informed. Hearing that, Daniel understood that Jared and Nicole might not want the kids to stop school. So he compromised. "All right then. We were thinking of changing the driver after the current one got hurt." Jared's men were not ordinary people. They could ensure the children's safety. "Yes, we'll take good care of their safety," Nicole said with determination. Nolan and Lana were everything to them. "Is Tia in the hospital with Stanley?" Gloria asked after noticing Tia's absence. "Yes, she stayed back," Nicole answered. Tia was indeed the most suitable one to take care of Stanley, especially since it was Tia's own choice. "All right, with her looking after Stanley, we can be at ease." Gloria sighed. The sudden event had been quite distressing for them. Nicole looked at the deserted dining room and asked, "Mom, Dad, have you had dinner yet?" "I didn't have the appetite," Gloria said while shaking her head. They were worried sick while staying in the house. Nicole comforted them. "Well, everything's fine now. You should have something. Don't exhaust yourself." "I really can't eat anything now," Gloria rejected. She still had a heavy heart, feeling concerned. "What about some simple noodles?" "We haven't eaten yet. You should eat with us," Nicole said. She then instructed the house butler to prepare some food. To be frank, no one had the appetite to eat, but they had to eat to deal with future matters. Only by taking care of themselves could they handle the upcoming events. The food was soon prepared, and everyone ate a little before heading back to their rooms. Looking at Gloria and Daniel's worn-out appearance, Nicole knew that today's incident took a toll on them. "Prepare some soothing tea for them," Nicole told the house butler. She was quite worried about Gloria. "Sure," the house butler replied. Sensing Gloria's unusualness, the children asked, "Mommy, is Grandma not feeling well?" Nicole patted their heads and explained, "Your grandma is just worried for Stanley. She'll be all right." "Let's go keep Grandma company then," they said. Your grandma needs rest too. You two should go to bed, Nicole told them and tucked them in. Though the children were concerned about Gloria, sending them to Gloria now would just prevent her from resting. Nicole and Jared accompanied the kids to bed for a long time before the kids were soundly asleep. Back in their room, Nicole sighed with concern. The kids were terrified by today's event. They'll get better, Jared reassured, patting Nicole's back. Looking at Jared, Nicole frowned and asked, "Who do you think could be behind this?" The only culprit Nicole could think of was Harvey. At the same time, she felt Harvey would not be that reckless and stupid to do such a thing. However, other than Harvey, Nicole could not think of another candidate. She did not know anyone else in San Giotto trying to mess with her. She could deduce that today's incident was ultimately targeted at her, but she could not figure out the mastermind. Lawrence. As this thought crossed her mind, Nicole instantly dismissed the idea. She refused to believe that Lawrence would hurt her kids. If it was not Lawrence either, Nicole could only think of the people who hunted her down when she first came back to San Giotto. Could it be that group of people got impatient after not finding any clues? Let's wait for Max's investigation results. There's no point guessing now with no leads. Jared comforted Nicole, holding her hand and bringing her to the bed. Get some rest. Maybe we'll find out more tomorrow. Yeah, all right, Nicole replied. She lay down on the bed, but she just could not sleep. Jared gently held Nicole in his arms, feeling her restlessness. Knowing she could not sleep, he landed a soft kiss on her forehead and reassured her, "We're capable of protecting them." Jared could understand Nicole's anxiousness. When Nicole first got back to San Giotto, she was chased away. Someone suddenly appeared to kidnap her children. Jared knew Nicole was worried for them. Yeah, Nicole agreed, her eyes filled with determination. She had to protect her kids, no matter what. Meanwhile, Lawrence got a phone call from Ian in Macrunia. His tone was angry when he barked. "What did you say? Someone dared to lay their hands on Nolan and Lonna." "Yes, it happened this evening. They're fine now, but Stanley and the driver got injured," Ian reported. "Do you know who did it?" Lawrence's tone was cold. Ian was uncertain. "Not sure yet. I haven't found any useful leads." "Keep searching. Make sure to find the culprit," Lawrence ordered. "Those bastards must be sick of living to dare harm Nolan and Lonna." "Yes," Ian promised, hanging up the phone call. Lawrence tossed his phone onto the table, his eyes clouded with darkness. He was trying to figure out what could have happened in San Giotto and why the kids were targeted. Lawrence felt a huge desire to go to San Giotto now, but the situation in Macrunia was at a critical juncture. He hesitated. One misstep could undo all his previous efforts. After much contemplation, Lawrence sent a message to Ian, instructing him to identify the culprit and send Lawrence regular updates on the situation in San Giotto. Then, Everett came into the room and said mockingly, "Anything in San Giotto that needs you to be back there?" Lawrence glared at him. "It's none of your business." Everett shrugged his shoulders, defending himself. "Well, I was just asking. There's no need to get defensive." "Why are you here?" Lawrence asked coldly. "I meant to ask about the progress. I've had enough of this godforsaken place," Everett complained. He had spent too much time here and was eager to return to San Giotto for revenge. "If cracking that thing was so easy, I doubt you would have handed it to me." Lawrence snorted. He knew that if Everett could crack it on his own, he would have never collaborated with him. "I just thought that with your capabilities, things might get easier," Everett retorted, implying that Lawrence might have been too slow to make progress. "Humph, just go back and wait. I'll inform you when there are results," Lawrence replied impatiently. Everett calmly reminded him, "Please hurry up. Don't miss a great opportunity, or you'll have no one to blame but yourself." As Everett turned to leave, Lawrence suddenly thought of something and warned him, "Don't do things you shouldn't do, or you'll regret it." Everett paused briefly before walking away with big strides. A hint of darkness flashed in Lawrence's eyes. He sent a message to Ian, reminding him to be vigilant about Damien's family. He had a gut feeling that Everett's behavior was unusual, and he was also talking strangely. Lawrence figured that even if Everett was not involved in the incident, he surely knew something. The next day, the weather was sunny, but the family's spirit was far from cheerful. After a rather subdued breakfast, Gloria and Daniel said, "One, know you're all busy with work, so we'll go visit Stanley." "Okay, we'll go drop Nolan and Lana off at kindergarten first," said Nicole. Soon, all family members left the house and Nicole and Jared sent the kids off to kindergarten. Tia had to stay in the hospital to take care of Stanley for these 2 days, so she could not escort the kids to kindergarten. So Nicole and Jared were handed back the responsibility. Once Stanley was discharged, they would arrange for Jared's man to be their driver responsible for picking them up. Arriving at the kindergarten, Nolan and Lana bid farewell to their parents before heading inside. Watching them, Nicole murmured, "I'm really worried for them. I got everything covered. Whether they're in kindergarten or on their way to and from school every day, they'll have protection no matter what," Jared informed. He made sure to protect their safety beyond any doubt. They were supposed to be innocent and carefree at this age, yet they have to go through all this, Nicole said, heartbroken for the kids. As a mother, she hoped her kids would grow up without worries. "You've been through much more than they have. Trust them. They can do it." Jared encouraged Nicole. After all, Nicole experienced many challenges in her own life since she was young. Soon, they arrived at Riddle Corporation. Nicole got out of the car and reminded Max, "Make sure to inform me once there's an update." "Yes, I will," Max promised. They had not gotten any news in the morning, so everyone was quite upset. At the same time, they were even more worried, hoping to catch the culprit as soon as possible. After Nicole entered the building, Max started the car and left. "Let Charlie on the case," Jared said blandly, but there was a hint of coldness within his tone. "Yes," Max replied seriously. They had indeed hit a bump in the road in their current progress. Charlie might be the key to a breakthrough. Besides that, get Patricia to stay close to Nicole at all times, Jared ordered, his voice deep. Although that group of people wanted to kidnap the kids, their ultimate goal was Nicole. Her children were her weak point. So if the kidnappers succeeded, Nicole would have no choice but to comply. "Understood. I'll inform Patricia about it," Max replied. Meanwhile, Nicole entered her office with Patricia behind her. "How's the situation?" Nicole asked, and her expression darkened. Patricia shook her head. "Nothing. You too." Nicole furrowed her brows as she wondered who was good enough to stop both Max and Patricia from getting any updates. Patricia gritted her teeth. "Do you think they might have been?" She made a gesture of slicing her throat. Her expression turned solemn. "Otherwise, why would they disappear without a trace?" Nicole looked at Patricia. "Not likely. After all, they're quite tough. It was impossible for them to be killed and disposed of without a trace." "So what exactly happened?" Patricia murmured. Nicole looked up at her. "Speaking of that, could it be that we started off on the wrong foot?" "The wrong foot?" Patricia seemed puzzled. "Aren't we just investigating the traces of those people? How could we have gone wrong?" "Yeah. We were only searching for those few criminals, but if they disappeared so quickly, there's only one possibility. We've all overlooked one thing." Nicole's eyes turned dark. Patricia kind of understood Nicole. "What is it?" "Those people may not be the ruthless villains we thought they were. They might not even be habitual offenders. They might just be ordinary passers-by, hidden or living near the incident scene," Nicole said. Patricia's eyes flashed in surprise. "That's a possibility." Just then, Patricia's phone rang, and Max was on the line. "Hey, Max. Mr. Johnston wants you to stay close to Mrs. Johnston. Also, Charlie will take care of the investigation now. Mrs. Johnston thinks that those people might be hiding or living near the scene of the incident. Ask him to investigate along these lines." Patricia relayed Nicole's thoughts to Max. Max agreed and hung up, and Patricia put away her phone. Mr. Johnston has arranged for someone to investigate this. All right, let's wait for updates. Nicole sighed. Patricia turned and left the office, while Nicole leaned back in her chair, deep in contemplation. At the same time, Daniel and Gloria arrived at the ward as Tia and Stanley were tidying up after their breakfast. Dad, Mom, you're here. Stanley felt a little guilty when he saw Daniel and Gloria. Sorry for worrying you. We're glad you're fine. Take care of yourself, okay? Gloria walked to his bed and looked at him as her eyes watered instantly. What had been peaceful had suddenly become a crisis, all because of those despicable criminals. Mr. and Mrs. Riddle, please help yourselves. I'll boil some water, Tia said as she took the kettle and headed out. I'm fine, honestly. You don't have to trouble yourselves to come see me. Stanley looked at his parents, who looked a bit worn out. He knew they probably did not get much rest yesterday. How could we not come? Grandpa asked about you too. Daniel looked at Stanley. But we told him that you only suffered from minor injuries. Otherwise, he would worry. Yeah, we shouldn't let Grandpa know the specific details. He might not be able to handle it. Stanley agreed, as he did not want to worry his grandfather. Just focus on your recovery now. Nicole and Jared will handle the rest, Daniel said. He nodded and said, okay. After all, he really could not help with anything else at the moment. Knock. Knock. Though he was severely injured, he had just told her he was ill. It's nothing, just an accident. Stanley did not offer much explanation. He had casually brushed it off when he called her, as he was not expecting her to come to see him. If I had known you were injured, I would have bought you some health supplements. She thought he was sick and only brought some fruits. It's good enough that you came to see him. Forget about gifts. Come and sit. Gloria took the fruits and pulled Cherry to sit by the bed. When Tia returned, she saw Gloria and Cherry chatting happily. Although Daniel and Stanley were not speaking, they were watching them with smiles on their faces. Setting down the kettle, Tia wanted to quietly leave the space to them. Tia, what are you doing? Cherry asked Tia curiously. Tia was at a loss for words. She could not possibly say she was feeling awkward and wanted to leave. Cherry asked, what's wrong with you? You're so hesitant. If you have something to say, just say it. I can help you. She saw Tia leaving right after she boiled some water but was about to leave, so she wanted to see if she could help her. It's nothing. Tia could only force herself to stay. Cherry pulled Tia over. Come and sit with us. I was just telling Gloria how hard you've been taking care of Stanley. Not at all. In fact, it's Stanley who has helped me a lot before, Tia said awkwardly. So it's safe to say that you two have been helping each other, Cherry joked with a smile. Tia bit her lip, unsure of how to respond, so she just nodded. I think it's about time we leave. Your father and I will head back first. Gloria signaled to Daniel and then looked at Stanley. Daniel also followed suit. We will go see Grandpa. Sure. Don't worry about me, Stanley said. I will see you off, Mr. and Mrs. Riddle. Tia finally found an opportunity to leave and immediately volunteered. Gloria was not pleased. Oh, you. Why are you addressing us as Mr. and Mrs. Riddle again? Sorry, Daniel and Gloria. Tia could only address them differently with a forced smile before following Daniel and Gloria out. So, Stanley and Cherry were the only ones who remained in the ward. She raised an eyebrow and asked, so, still no progress? What progress? Stanley furrowed his brows, somewhat puzzled. You know, between you and Tia. Cherry looked at Stanley with disdain. Stanley was stunned for a moment and instinctively denied. Don't talk nonsense. There's nothing between us. Are you still lying to yourself? She might become someone else's wife, and you'll regret it your whole life. Cherry shrugged with a look of regret. Stanley involuntarily clenched his fists and fell silent. Cherry leaned in closer to Stanley and asked softly, Hey, Is something troubling you? Do you need help? No, thanks. Don't overthink this too. Stanley quickly calmed down, his tone becoming much more composed. Whatever Cherry's intentions were, he had to treat her indifferently. After all, this matter had been hidden in his heart for many years, and he had no intention of bringing it out for everyone to know. Well, that's a pity. I don't think Tia has no feelings for you. Cherry sighed. It's a shame that neither of you is willing to take a step forward. You'll forever remain parallel and never intersect. Stanley suddenly looked up at Cherry. Did she mean what she said? Did Tia care about me too? No, Tia already has someone in her heart. Cherry must be talking nonsense. I'm tired and I want to rest. You should go back if you have nothing else to do. However, Stanley's mind was still in turmoil. He wanted Cherry to leave as he needed to calm down. Sure. Take your time and think about it. Cherry also did not seem upset. She just shrugged and left. When Tia returned, Cherry was already gone. Tia was surprised. Where's Cherry? She had something to do and left, Stanley replied. He glanced at Tia and then looked away. But Cherry's words were already stuck in his mind. Night fell, and the lights came on. Daniel and Dexter's families had all returned to the family manor. Benjamin looked at everyone and said, I already know what happened. You don't need to hide it from me. Yes, we were all shocked when we heard, Emma said with concern. How is Stanley now? He's fine. He'll be discharged in a couple of days, Gloria explained, comforting everyone. Hey, Nicole, is everything resolved? Ella asked eagerly. He had been anxious ever since he heard about it. Nicole glanced at everyone and calmly said, Don't worry, we'll handle it. You don't need to be too concerned. We're all fine now. As for the specifics, there were no results yet, so she did not want to say more as she also did not want everyone to worry. Everyone understood Nicole's meaning and, after exchanging glances, no one asked about the matter any further. It's rare that everyone is here, and it's about time, so let's have dinner together, Emma suggested. Yes, let's eat, Benjamin commanded, and everyone headed to the dining room. Nolan and Lana were watching TV in the living room, while the adults were having dinner. During the meal, they chatted about family matters, but no one mentioned the incident where Nolan and Lana were almost kidnapped. In the living room, Nolan was watching TV with Lana when his little wristwatch vibrated. Glancing at the message from Lawrence, Nolan subconsciously looked toward the dining room. That watch was a birthday gift Lawrence had given him last year. He did not wear it much, but his mom had him wear it after yesterday's incident, probably out of concern. Lawrence was probably aware that his watch had been activated. It was a custom-made watch that looked like a regular watch on the surface, but it had many functions. Seeing everyone busy eating and not paying attention to him, Nolan dialed a phone number. Godpa, are you coming back? Nolan asked as soon as the call was connected. Not for now. I just wanted to ask how you and Lana are doing. Lawrence's voice came through. We're both fine, Godpa, don't worry, Nolan reassured him. Lawrence breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. Don't worry. I won't sit idly by on this matter. I will definitely help you find out what happened. Don't worry about it, Godpa. You're not in the San Giotto, and Dad and Mom are already investigating it. They can handle it. But thank you, Godpa. Nolan said gratefully. Lawrence was taken aback for a moment. Then, he could only smile and say, I see. Then I'll ask Uncle Ian to help you guys. Nolan had never refused his help before, and now, Nolan really did not need it anymore. Godpa, are you busy over there? Nolan changed the topic. No, I just have some things that I can't get away from, Lawrence explained. Upon hearing this, Nolan encouraged. Oh, then please take care, Godpa. Thank you. I'll bring you guys some gifts when I come back. Lawrence smiled. Nolan hung up the phone, and Lana asked while blinking, Is Godpa okay? It's nothing. Nolan shook his head. Godpa said he would bring us gifts when he comes back. Oh. Lorna then turned back to watch TV. Nicole came over and glanced at them. What are you doing? Godpa just called and said he would bring us gifts when he comes back, Lorna replied. He's coming back. Nicole was surprised. No, Godfather said he still has some things to deal with there, Nolan said, his voice gradually getting lower. What could it be? Something related to the water crest. Nicole narrowed her eyes as she knew Lawrence's intentions. She quickly regained her composure and guessed the purpose of Lawrence's call. He's probably concerned if you guys got hurt. Yeah. He also said to let Uncle Ian help us investigate, but I told him it wasn't necessary, Nolan recounted. Nicole nodded. Don't worry. We'll have results soon. A determined look flashed in her eyes as the air around her turned cold. After everyone finished dinner, they gradually returned to the living room. The room became lively again, and everyone started chatting. Only Damien and his family didn't come today. Do they not know about Nolan and Lorna's situation? They don't even come to check, Karen whined, pretending to be upset. Let it be. If they don't come, so be it. Benjamin sounded displeased. Besides, he did not really want to see Damien and his family too. It truly saddened him. Although Karen was scolded by Benjamin, she was secretly pleased. Our family's downfall is linked to Damien's family. So if we go down together. It's getting late. You should all head back. Benjamin frowned, signaling for everyone to leave. He was not in a good mood to begin with, and he was very worried about Nolan and Lorna. Now that they had brought Damien up, he felt even more depressed, so he just wanted some quiet time alone. Daniel noticed his mood too, so he quickly agreed. Sure, Dad. We'll go back. Dad, take care of yourself. Well, also head back. Dexter also said goodbye and prepared to leave. Both families quickly left the family manor, leaving only Dylan and Karen with Benjamin. Dad, if you really feel unwell, just go back to your room, Dylan comforted him. Take me upstairs, Benjamin instructed the butler. He then glanced at Dylan and Karen before letting the butler help him walk upstairs.
Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed this story, please like and share so others can see it too. Also hit the subscription button and notification bell so you can be notified on our next release. Thank you for your support. God bless you.